You love your cat more than almost anything in this world. You buy them the best food, you clean their litter box religiously, and you give them chin scratches until they practically melt into your lap. But here is a thought that keeps veterinarians up at night, and it's something that might shake you to your core. Your cat is a master of disguise. In the wild, a sick animal is a dead animal, and that primal instinct is so deeply ingrained in your domesticated feline's DNA that they will literally hide their suffering from you until they physically cannot anymore. They are stoic survivors, and this ancient survival mechanism means that by the time you actually see obvious symptoms, your cat has likely been fighting a silent battle for weeks, maybe even months. This is known as the silent illness, and understanding it is the single most important thing you can do to extend your cat's life and deepen your bond. I want to take you back to a conversation I had with Dr. Sarah Ellis, a leading feline behaviorist who has dedicated her life to decoding the subtle language of cats. She told me about a case that completely changed the way she practices medicine. A client brought in their 14-year-old tabby, and they said, "He's fine, he just sleeps a little more, he's getting older." But when Dr. Ellis ran the blood work, the results were staggering. The cat's kidneys were functioning at less than 15% capacity. 15%. The owner was shocked because the cat was still eating. He was still purring. But as Dr. Ellis explained, that purr isn't always a sign of happiness. In fact, cats often purr when they are in severe pain because the low frequency of the vibration actually helps to promote healing and acts as a self-soothing mechanism. We have been conditioned to think a purr is a smile, but sometimes, it's a whimper. This is why we have to move away from the idea that our cats will tell us when they are sick. They won't. They will lie to you, because in their evolutionary mind, showing weakness is a death sentence. So, we have to become detectives. We have to look past the obvious signs of illness like vomiting or limping, and look for the subtle, almost invisible clues they are desperately trying to hide. Moving on to the first behavior you need to watch out for, and one of the most overlooked signs of silent illness, subtle changes in grooming habits. We all know cats are pristine creatures. They spend a good portion of their day meticulously cleaning their fur. But if a cat isn't feeling well, specifically if they are suffering from internal pain like dental disease, arthritis, or even gastrointestinal discomfort, the act of grooming becomes too painful or physically exhausting. You might notice the fur on their back or the base of their tail starts to look greasy or slightly unkempt. But here is the twist that trips up most owners. It isn't just about a lack of grooming. Sometimes, a sick cat will overgroom. This is often driven by stress or skin conditions, but it can also be a sign of a deeper neurological issue or hyperthyroidism. If you find yourself picking up your cat's favorite blanket and finding wet spots of excessive saliva, or if you are noticing bald patches on their belly, that isn't just a quirky habit. That is a signal. Look at their claws. Are they overgrown and stuck in the paw pads? That indicates a reluctance to use the scratching post because their joints hurt. These are the tiny cracks in their disguise, and they are the first place you should look when you suspect something is wrong. Another surprising sign that something is deeply wrong is a change in their interaction with vertical spaces. Cats are natural climbers. It's their safe zone. It gives them a bird's-eye view of their territory and makes them feel safe. If you have a cat that normally loves to perch on the highest shelf in the living room, and suddenly they start spending all their time hiding under the bed or inside a cardboard box on the floor, that is a huge red flag. This isn't just a change in mood. If they are avoiding the couch or the bed, it means jumping is becoming difficult, often pointing toward arthritis or joint pain that radiates when they jump down. But on the flip side, and this is equally important, we have to look at the opposite behavior. Sometimes, a cat with hyperthyroidism or anxiety will become a vertical climber, to an extreme degree, climbing heights they never would have dared to try before, often getting stuck or being too scared to come down. It's a sign of restlessness and internal pressure. So, it's not just about where they sleep, but the effort it takes them to get there. Pay attention to the way they approach the windowsill. Do they hesitate? Do they make a little poof sound when they land on the floor? That small grunt is them expressing pain, hoping you are listening. Now, let's get into the third behavior, and this is where it gets really interesting, and a little bit heartbreaking. We are talking about social interactions. Many people think that if a cat is sick, they will become a recluse, hiding in the closet away from everyone. And yes, that is true in the late stages of illness. But in the early stages of a silent illness, what you actually see is a cat that becomes incredibly clingy. You have a cat that normally is independent, and suddenly, they are following you from room to room. They are sitting on your chest, kneading your face, and they just won't leave you alone. You might think, oh, they just love me more today, but what is actually happening is that your cat is insecure. They feel vulnerable, and they don't understand why their body feels so strange. They are seeking comfort. In the wild, a sick animal often isolates, but a domesticated cat sometimes does the opposite. They look to the pack leader for security. Conversely, if you have a lap cat that suddenly becomes irritable and hisses when you try to pick them up, that is a defense mechanism. They are moving away from you because touching hurts. It's a paradox. The cat that loves you the most may actually distance themselves to hide their pain, while the independent cat may become your shadow because they are scared. The key is to note the deviation from their baseline personality. Your cat's personality is their compass. When it spins wildly off course, it's a sign of a neurological or physical storm brewing inside. But that's not all. The fourth behavior is one that often gets dismissed as a bad attitude, and that is litter box avoidance. We need to have a serious conversation about the litter box because it is the window into your cat's internal health. If your cat suddenly starts peeing on your bed, on the bath mat, or right next to the litter box, they are not being vengeful. They are not mad at you for going on vacation. This is a textbook sign of a medical issue, especially lower urinary tract disease, kidney issues, or painful crystals in their urine. They associate the litter box with the pain of using it. So they search for a softer surface, like your favorite rug or the laundry, hoping it will make the process less painful. This is a classic case of the cat trying to use the box but physically failing. If you have a cat straining to urinate, producing very little, or if you see blood in the urine, this is a life-threatening emergency. But even if the urine looks clear, a change in location is a massive red flag. We can't punish them for this. Punishment will increase their stress, which will make the urinary problems worse. Instead, we have to realize that they are communicating in the only way they know how. They are crying out for help through their waste. Now, let's look at number 5, which is arguably the most difficult one to spot because it is so human. We are talking about appetite changes, but not just finishing their food. We have to look at the consumption of water. Many owners are thrilled when their cat is eating great. But if a cat is suddenly eating voraciously but losing weight, that is a catastrophic sign of hyperthyroidism or diabetes. They are eating everything in sight because their body is in a metabolic crisis. They are starving themselves while consuming calories. The body is consuming itself. On the other hand, a cat with dental pain or nausea might approach the food bowl, sniff it, and walk away. They are hungry. They want to eat. But the pain signals in their mouth or stomach are overriding their hunger drive. You might see them scoop food to the side of the bowl to avoid their teeth hitting the hard kibble. They might even pick up food with their paw to eat it, which looks cute, but it's actually a sign of severe dental disease. We also have to look at their drinking habits. A cat drinking excessive amounts of water is a classic sign of kidney failure or diabetes. It is the body trying to flush out toxins it can no longer process. They are telling you, my kidneys are failing, every single time they lap up that water. Moving on to the sixth behavior, and this one will require you to look at your cat's resting posture. Have you ever seen a cat lying with their head hanging down over the edge of the bed, or sleeping with their chin resting on a hard surface like a table or a water bowl? This is known as head pressing, and it is a sign of neurological distress. It indicates that the frontal lobe of the brain is under pressure, possibly from a tumor, an infection, or a metabolic issue. It's almost like they are trying to relieve the pressure in their head by pressing it against something. In less severe cases, you may notice them sleeping in a loaf position, but with their front paws tucked inwards and their legs hanging out. This prevents pressure on the joints. If they are avoiding curling up in a tight ball, they are protecting their aching body. They are protecting their abdomen. Watch how they get up. If they are stiff and slow, especially after a long nap, they are not just getting old. They are in chronic pain. Senior cats don't just sleep because they are lazy. They sleep because their body is exhausted from fighting the inflammation of arthritis or the pain of internal organ disease. They are conserving energy for the very fight to survive. Finally, and this is the seventh and most terrifying behavior, we have to talk about vocalization. Many people think that a cat meowing loudly is hungry, but a cat meowing at 3 a.m. in a low, guttural howl or a yelp is often a sign of disorientation. This is often seen in older cats experiencing cognitive dysfunction, a feline form of Alzheimer's disease. They are confused, lost in their own home, and they are calling out because they are scared and alone. But it's not just senior cats. If a young cat is suddenly vocalizing more frequently, especially if they are staring at a wall, it could be a sign of high blood pressure or pain. They are looking for you to fix it. They are looking for you to understand. We have to stop anthropomorphizing our cats and thinking they are talking to us. They are screaming at us. They are screaming in a frequency we can hear, trying to break through the barrier of our misunderstanding. So, what do we do with all of this information? The first step is to stop making excuses. Stop saying, "He's just getting old," or "She's just grumpy." Start tracking these subtle changes. If you have a cat that is more than 7 years old, you need to be taking them to the vet for a checkup at least twice a year. Not just for vaccines, but for blood work and blood pressure checks. The silent illness doesn't care about your schedule. It doesn't care if you have a busy week. It doesn't care if it's Christmas. It will take your cat away from you if you don't catch it in time. And if you are seeing even one of these behaviors, especially a combination of them, you need to call your vet today. You need to take a video of your cat's behavior with your phone. Show it to the vet because your cat is likely to hide their symptoms in the vet's office out of sheer fear. The environment is scary, so they freeze and hide the symptoms you saw at home. The video is your weapon. It is the proof that gets them the help they need. I know this is heavy. I know that thinking about your furry friend being in pain is one of the worst feelings in the world. But you aren't here just to watch a video, you are here because you love your cat more than anything. And to love them, we have to understand them. We have to accept that they aren't trying to be annoying when they meow at night or when they miss the litter box. They are trying to survive, and they need you to be their advocate. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: your cat is a warrior, but they are also a silent victim of their own evolutionary biology. Don't let the silence fool you. Be their voice. If you made it this far and you are going to go give your cat a hug right now, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to check them right now. Check their ears. Are they flat or dirty? Check their weight. Can you feel their spine? Check their breath. Does it smell like ammonia or something rotting? Your cat cannot speak English or German, but they are speaking to you. And I need you to look them in the eyes and tell them you understand. And while you're doing that, I want you to hit the like button on this video if you are committing to taking your cat for a health checkup this month. I also want you to comment down below the one thing that you just realized you need to check on your cat after watching this. I read every single comment, and I promise you, this community will support you. But don't go just yet. Because in my next video, I am going to show you the specific veterinary diet and supplements that are clinically proven to extend the life of senior cats by up to 5 years. It's information that vets don't always share, and it's going to change the way you feed your cat. You don't want to miss it, so hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't lose your chance to give your feline friend the longest life possible. Your cat is counting on you. Don't let them down.